We know that there's an increase of inventory on the market right now, but we also know that interest rates are rising. Is there a window of opportunity for buyers? Stick around, we're going to get into that today. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is your realtor Nick Isgro with eXp Realty here in Central Maine, and what a beautiful day today. Listen, I just wanted to pop on today and do a quick video to show you some interesting information that I just came across to talk about the fact that there might be some really great opportunities for buying right now in the market. We know that interest rates are up, so that makes lending a little bit more competitive. We know that inventory, although there is more inventory on the market, is still really less than a month of supply. So there's not like a overabundance of inventory, but we know that what's out there is actually sitting a little bit longer. So we're going to cover some interesting information. Stick around. I want to show this to you and show you 3 different phases here so that you can decide if you're thinking about jumping into the market, or if you're in the market now even. This might just be good news. There might be a window of opportunity for you. Now, if you've never been here to the channel, I do want to welcome you here. We do cover all things real estate here in the state of Maine, but particularly in the Central Maine market. If that's of interest to you or adds value to your process in the buying and selling of homes, do me a favor. Go ahead and click the like button on this video, hit subscribe, knock that little alarm bell. You'll be notified every time I put out new content. Now, what I want to share with you today is some information that's come out from the Showing Time app. Now, if you are unaware of what that is, pretty much every agent in the country is using Showing Time as an app on our phones and on the computers that's linked into our MLS for us to schedule showings. So it's a way that we can monitor all of the showing activity. It's a way we get feedback from other agents on the showings that they do on our listings. And so as that information goes in there, it's collecting data, and one of the pieces of data that it produces is the amount of foot traffic that's going on in the showings. Now, we know homes are sitting a little bit longer on the market, and we know that interest rates are hedging the risk right now into the marketplace. Well, what's happening with foot traffic? Take a look at this. All right, so here is the story that we're telling here. The information that you see in gray, the bars that are in gray in this graph, this represents showing traffic between 2017 and 2020. So this shows us what pre-pandemic activity on the homes looked like. So we can see there's some steady up and down trends, some seasonality that is cooked into the showing calendar, but nothing really alarming there. Look at what's going on in blue. This blue graph represents the pandemic years, and as you can see, the numbers skyrocketed during the pandemic. Showing traffic went to its ultimate height. Now remember, this was also driven by bottom barrel interest rates, and so everybody was cooped up, people were working remote, some of them still are. Prices of the homes were up, but the interest rates were down, allowing people to get out there and look at homes and create this immensely competitive marketplace. And also, remember, the inventory was shrunk at the same time. So all of those things going on, you can see this massive spike. Well, over the last couple of years, this has become somewhat normalized in the minds of the consumer, both actually really, frankly, in a lot of real estate agents as well, but mostly in the consumer, because they're starting to think this is what the market looks like. Well, what's happening now? Take a look at that data in green. We are returning to pre-pandemic normalcy. This shows that buyer demand is coming down from what we've seen in the last 2 years. It's something that we've been waiting for, something we've been knowing was going to happen. Obviously, the interest rate spike has had something to do with that prompting, and I think that's going to be very interesting to watch over the coming months. But to you buyers out there, this does create some opportunity, and this could be a great window to get into the market. Now, if we're speaking about higher rates slowing the market, let's actually talk about what that might be doing. Let's look at home sales data. What you're going to see when we bring this up is a very similar story to what we saw in the Showing Time app. If we look at the pandemic years in blue, you can see sales were way up comparatively to years prior to the pandemic. And if we look at what's happening post-pandemic, where we are right now, sales are actually declining along with the showing. So when you combine this data, we see definitely a window of opportunity for buyers out there. I can tell you that here in the local market, a lot of us realtors are talking to each other. We're talking about, what are you seeing for the longer market times? What are you doing with pricing? Because we know that homes are really just sitting on the market a little bit longer. And so it's driving a lot of conversation with the sellers of, do we leave the price? Because sellers still, even with the longer market times, are getting generally what they're asking for, but we are seeing them being sold for under the asking price, which means that buyers are in there, they're starting to negotiate. Sellers are more willing to negotiate a little bit, not huge because their homes still have the value there, but we are getting back again to that normal pre-pandemic activity. So that's it for today, guys. Just a quick video. I saw these graphs this morning, was looking at the data, thought I would bring it to you here in Central Maine because I know there's been a lot of people I've been talking to who have been sitting on the sidelines, or maybe they were in the market and they just bowed out. This is a great time to get back in as inventory is coming up. We can see from this data that buyer demand is going down. Might be a great opportunity to negotiate before rates go potentially even higher. There's actually a Fed funds meeting today. We'll see what happens by the end of the day. By the time this video is even published, the rates might even be a little bit higher than they are as I'm making it. So that's the news I wanted to bring to you. Again, guys, my name is Nick Isgro. I am Central Maine's realtor. If you have any questions that you want to know about real estate here in the state of Maine, particularly in the Central Maine market, if you're selling, if you're buying, you just want to pick my brain, all of my contact information is always linked down below in the post. Feel free to reach out in whatever method is most convenient for you. I promise to get back to you. As always, guys, thanks so much for sticking around to the end of this video, and until next week, I'll see you next time.